So let's watch this.
And having them pay off
If you're
doctors
in
to say
chat and
things
are
like this.
addicted to
You
something,
know,
let me know.
this
We
night
can
works kinda
figure it out.
rough.
We're here for
That's
therapy
right.
today.
But a camel's always a pleasure.
Yes, folks, the pleasing mildness of a camel is just as enjoyable to a doctor as
Well, we
it
gonna
is
dig
to
in
you or
to
me.
But hey,
Dave's.
it's all good. They made it for that stress by beating their millennial children for asking them to get a toy. Millennials and Gen X are more addicted to alcohol and prescription drugs, and also
Yep.
posting the most cringe content you'll
My
ever see on
generation,
TikTok.
my generation is more weed. Just weed, to be honest, and maybe a little bit of psychedelics here and then.
I guess that's what happens when you were the victim of the generation that would beat you just because. You know what? If they're having fun on their side of the internet, I'm happy for them. And of course, we end up with the dump of all that, which is Gen Z. But I think we're kind of different because before you had to do a little more searching in the past generations to get that addiction. You know, like have the money to buy a cigarette or alcohol. But now, because of the digital age, it's made it almost impossible for Gen Z to not have an addiction. The amount of people in Gen Z who just have an addiction casually and we act like it's normal is kind of insane. We were the first test group of the internet's effect on a younger generation, and now that everyone's on the internet 24/7, like 90% of people have an addiction
because of the internet.
so I want to talk about all the ones that are getting pushed and more amplified with us, I would say. And we could start off with food. Okay, food didn't start with us, and
I'm fucking eating right now. Are you calling me a fat ass? This hating ass nigga, bro.
Gen Z isn't even the fattest generation, but because of online ads and social media ads, it's very easy to push. We haven't even paid attention to the thought of how many food delivery apps we have. Bro,
Not
growing
dead
up,
ass, though.
I remember the most you could deliver to your house was a pizza. It would be late night, and if you were craving something and didn't want to drive to an actual physical location, your ass had to order some Domino's or Papa John's. I know it had to suck working at one of those places back then, though, because the amount of prank calls that would go viral on YouTube of people just trolling them was astronomical. Like this channel Ownage Pranks used to go A1 back in the day. Bro would spout the most stereotypical racist accent to a worker and ruin their day. And you don't even need the delivery apps anymore. If you just download the fast food apps, they get it delivered for you. You know, you got your Chick-fil-A's, McDonald's, Taco Bell.
They be goated though.
Food,
They be goated though. The rewards. Chat. Invest into your fucking food rewards, bro. You're gonna save so much money. Trust me. Trust me.
Chipotle, wait, what? Yeah, believe it or not, that was a real delivery
Nigga
service
food?
app until it got
What?
taken down. I wonder how such a family-friendly thing could violate Apple's terms of service. And if you download one of these food apps, you can save like half your costs by using them. They make it easier than ever to get big backed. Because
No,
they'll
for
give
real.
you
That's
the
what I was
best
just
deals
talking
ever
about.
that for some reason they don't offer if you don't order on the app. And quarantine at my biggest back is I was trapping off that McDonald's app getting a free large fry with a $1 purchase. You got with 2 million McDonald's
That's
points who order
insane.
basically every day for
Fat
the past
ass.
4 years. At that point, do you get to meet Ronald McDonald or something? Because that has to deserve some type of reward. TikTok got to be the biggest influence for food nowadays, though. Because how many times have you seen a food spot on TikTok?
A
and it's
lot.
near you?
So
And
many
you think to
times.
yourself, well, damn, now I gotta try to see what the hype is. With traveling nowadays, everyone's go-to when looking for food is going to TikTok to see what the people are saying is the best. I always think how insane Keith Lee's come up was, and it shows how big back we really are. Because he quite literally will go to a food spot, give a review, and all it takes is a God damn, that's good. And the whole restaurant is fully booked up for the rest of the year. That's not a diss either, by the way, you know what I'm saying? We have with Keith Lee over here. And then you got those mukbang videos that became popular where they're eating gargantuan masses of food. I learned that some people watch these because they want to feel like they're literally eating the food, but their stomach can't take it, so they watch someone else do it.
That's
I don't know what
insane.
the fuck is wrong with that.
That's a different
I
type
just
of
get sick
addiction
and
right
wanna
there.
yak out a car
Food
with laughter
addiction?
looking
What
at
the
these.
fuck?
If you eating like this, you dead ass abusing your stomach wall lining. Next, we got vaping. For all the people who watch me and vape, I just want to let you know you're bigger than the vape. So do me a favor and put it down for your health now and your future.
Nah, I'm good.
And pick up a cigarette like a real. I always
Fuck
find
no.
it so insane that our generation was bombarded with PSAs about smoking and the harmful effects of it. Everyone ended up thinking we wouldn't be affected by it as much and be a much more healthy generation. Until they released flavors with the name Mango Cherry Freeze and Fortnite carts that no one knows the origin of to change minds instantly. I knew our generation was going to be the most addicted to it when I would walk in the school bathroom and casually see two in a stall with clouds of smoke coming out of it. And you'd have some dude on lookout
Not gonna lie, I was one of them niggas though.
paying attention to the sound of the jingling of keys to tell if a staff member was around or not. Then they start fumbling around and waving the smoke around to try to hide it. I didn't even know how bad it was at first though, until I found out kids in elementary school are doing it too. As a kid in elementary,
I thought I was bad doing that shit in high school. Elementary. Oh hell, this generation is fucked.
School, where the fuck are you getting the money to even afford that? Are you selling your rare Fortnite skins or something, then ordering them on eBay? According to statistics, 3.5% of middle schoolers in America vape as well. Low key, we gotta bring back those scary anti-smoking ads. Because I remember
I'm not gonna lie though, chat. I know a friend that's been smoking since he was 11 years old. That shit's sad. What's gone on in your life to where you have to rely on that as an 11-year-old?
when I was a kid being terrified of the thought of smoking. They would show the diagram of a healthy lung versus smoker lung, and I would have nightmares for the rest of the week. And no, you can't quit at any time. If you're somebody that has to sit there and reason with your friends like you're making a deal on Wall Street that you can, then let me introduce you to the last stage of grief, acceptance. It's okay to accept the fact that the rest of your friends are gonna live amazing, willing, full lives until 80, 90, or 100. And at 40, you're gonna drop randomly in your kitchen after those mango cherry freeze chemicals reach your heart. And weed smokers, where y'all going? Cause y'all ain't safe from this either. In general, I think out of a weed smoker and vape smoker, the weed smoker is usually more healthy. Mainly because the product doesn't have mysterious chemicals imported from a factory in Beijing. Nowadays, though, they be lacing the hell out of that weed, so I don't even know about that anymore. You could be picking up what you think is some regular Zaw from your local dealer, and it ends up being laced with fent,
I don't think
and peat.
I've chat on my phone. I don't think it's updating right.
They do the same thing as vape smokers, saying they can quit at any time, but they'll also argue with you, saying it makes them more productive. And they'll bring up successful people that do it as an example, like I don't know, Snoop Dogg or Wiz Khalifa. The person saying it though, 99% of the time is never productive. Like you ask them what they did through the week, and it's take a shower once, rage on Valorant, goon to Sophie Rain, then smoke 7 times. If you're not one of those productive people using it, then you can't say it. And you'll also never be as productive as someone sober in that time. It's so bad, you got who will work the whole week, then half of their paycheck is going to some rolling papers in that flight duck pack. I think the reason why the rise of addictions in smoking weed is because it's so easy to access nowadays. They got whole apps meant to deliver strains to people, and you can go on Snapchat and casually see 10 dealers in a 1-mile radius. Back then, people were scared of getting caught, especially when the internet wasn't a thing. Plus, it was a lot more penalized, so people didn't take the risk. Next, we got gooning. I already made a whole video on this, so we don't gotta spend a lot of time on this. But the algorithms nowadays, more than ever, are meant to fuel horniness. Like, have y'all ever opened your Instagram feed or TikTok feed and they're literally throwing it in your...
Chat, I just came up with a new slang word in my head. So, y'all know SpongeBob, right? Goofy Goober. If a nigga goons, if you want to play some defense, say, this nigga a goofy gooner. Bro, that shit look hard, bro. We're gonna make that a thing. Run it up. Clip it. Post a TikTok right now. That's a new slang word. Goofy gooner. You a goofy ass gooner.
Your face. No matter how many times I click not interested, it doesn't work. I think they have the button there just for fun. The best platform I see optimized where I don't see it is YouTube, because my algo is built brick by brick. It still happens though, trust me. Like somebody watching this probably got some freaky AI chatbot ad. But on Instagram and TikTok, they purposely don't listen to me. I just want one person to do some research on these algorithms and see if they got a horny piece of code written in there. A lot of people also talk about why were we so sexual at a young age, which is kind of true, you know, when I think about it. It's a mix of
the internet.
One being the internet, although it's not as bad as now. Like a Gen Alpha kid with unmonitored access in 2025 is probably gonna win this corn at the age of 7. Probably a mix of us looking at these Disney stars when we were kids and thinking of some freaky. The crazy thing to me was the shift of how OF stars and corn stars were perceived. Back then, I remember when a girl got leaked, it was the worst thing to happen in her life. Like her whole sacred temple.
I will say that doesn't make sense. Like what, 30 to 70 years ago, there were hookers you would pick up on the side of the road. I forgot what they were called, but like there were those type of girls, and it was just like shameful for women to post their body online and do all that, you know. And now it's normalized. I don't really understand how it went from that to this. And it should be one or the other the whole time. It shouldn't switch up like that. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know how to explain it better.
Temple was exposed to the world, or just somebody ousted as doing that line of work. They would never want that info out. But nowadays, if you see a link tree in that bio, it's like a Russian roulette of if you'll see an OnlyFans link or not. It's just a casual thing now to see someone naked online. Never in my life growing up I would think someone I went to high school with would start one, but I'm about 0 to 3 wrong, so Good thing I didn't put a bet on that. Oh, and speaking of bets, gambling is next. Parlays have by themselves ruined the financial dreams of millions of Gen Z. Because with parlays, it feels like you're not putting much up. And if you already hate your job or you're trying to make it out, you're gonna take the risk and throw in something you can lose, like $10 or $20. But that ends up adding up, and as you keep losing, you end up losing like half your week's salary over some stupid ass prediction. My opinion is sports gambling is way more of a problem for us than traditional gambling. Like, I feel like that was the problem more back then. Although
Yeah, our generation now doesn't really gamble. It's more sports gambling.
we definitely got our addicts for that too. Kick as a platform is pretty much meant as a funnel to stake where you can play slots to your heart's desire. Sports betting wouldn't even be that bad if everyone doing it actually had the disposable income to. But there should be no reason your whole paycheck is going on a bet. And it's really hard to stop because when you do get those wins, you always think you could get one potentially with another bet. And I don't know about y'all, but I've been getting a whole lot more of sports betting app ads a lot. It makes no sense too because I live in
FanDuel,
Texas. I can't
Underdog,
even gamble here. So why they even push it here when it's banned?
Prize
Like, it makes
Picks.
zero sense to me. It's almost like they know people can use VPNs to do it anyways. And they be giving some crazy ass bonuses just for you to join and make a single bet. Like, who wouldn't take a free $100 to bet for just a tiny risk of forever being indebted to the app and watching every single one of the 500 bets you made in the past week? Just a tiny risk though. The sports betting industry growth is so insane when you look at the chart. Just 7 years ago, it was only
Wow.
$209 million, and now it's
Wow.
around $4 to $6 billion. If
Wow.
this ain't an indication of a recession, then I don't know what is. People's doing anything to get money. I guarantee there's some dads out there risking their paycheck and if their kids get to eat, just to see if the bet will hit of LeBron getting over 40 points in a game. Next, we got caffeine. And it's time to be open.
I don't understand
This is
caffeine
probably the
addictions.
thing I match closest with. My excuses, though, I only take pre-workout on days I work out, which is 5 days in a week. Not really a good excuse, though, but trust me, I can quit anytime. I just need a little powder sprinkled in my toothpaste to get my bones jolting. Caffeine addiction is probably the easiest one to get because when you're tired in a day and need a little boost, it's one of the few legal substances you can take to boost your energy. Sadly, they banned the original Coke formula, but I've heard there's ways to get around it.
I don't understand how people have a caffeine addiction. Me personally, I'll just stay tired, bro. I'll try to push myself through something. I'm not gonna fucking get a pick me up unless I actually genuinely need it for something. Like if it's an event and I'm tired and I actually need to be awake to talk to people and everything, yes, I'll take an energy drink. But if it's like just something I can drag myself through and still make it through, then I'm not gonna drink an energy drink. It just makes sense. It's like the same thing as drinking for me. Like if I'm in a big like party area, I guess party setting with a bunch of people, I want to take a shot. But if I'm with a few friends, probably not. Maybe if we're having like a fun night. But I'm most likely not gonna drink because I'm not a drinker. I'm more of a smoker.
It also doesn't help that on TikTok, people will post their favorite coffee recipes or drink they got at Starbucks. Then people run to the store to get the exact same one to see what the hype is about. Everybody all of a sudden also started drinking matcha and making matcha everything. Matcha coffees, matcha pancakes, matcha noodles. A couple of years ago, would have seen something like this and fried you on the internet for even having it. But now all you gotta do is post the trying matcha noodles on TikTok and people will love it just because it's matcha. Where the did all this matcha talk come from though? Like, matcha is cool to me, but how did they get to the point where we're facing potential global shortages of it because everyone's having it? Also, having energy drinks is more commonplace now. Like, I remember in the past, if you told someone you was drinking energy drinks, they thought you were cooked, providing for 4 different families on a one-man salary while getting 4 hours of sleep. Every
No, for
company
real.
now, for some reason, has their own line of energy drinks. Like, who is dead-ass drinking the Toxic Waste energy drink and the Sonic the Hedgehog energy drink? Actually, that last one might not be too bad.
I better give me some superpowers or some shit. I better turn the Flash, nigga. Damn.
I think caffeine addiction is also rising too because a lot more people are sleep deprived nowadays. It's a blessing for real if you can get
That's
8
true.
full hours of sleep in this time. So when
That's
people
true.
are tired, they say, why not? Let me just get one energy drink for the day. There is a very big risk with it though, and we can't forget. Energy drinks have only been getting used a lot more in the past 2 decades, so we still don't have long-term studies on their effects. And there's even tragic cases about it, like the case of Katie Donald. Katie Donald was a 28-year-old teacher and fitness enthusiast, and she always tried to live a healthy lifestyle and had a lot of caffeine through the day as one of the things. She would have 3 energy drinks a day and a caffeine supplement on top of that before going to the gym. And by the way, the recommended max amount of caffeine you're
like
supposed to have in a
400.
day is 400 milligrams.
Yeah.
Depending on how much caffeine those drinks had, she could have been having like 2x or 3x the daily limit. But even if they were smaller amounts, I think we can all agree that just the sound of having 3 energy drinks a day is insane. And in
Yeah, long term, that would
2021,
not be
Katie had
good.
a heart attack and had to be put in the hospital, where 10 days later, she sadly passed away from the effects of it. So if you're near having 3 drinks a day, it might be time to reconsider how many you
Celsius
have.
and
The best schedule
pre-workout,
for
that's
people that do wanna
diabolical.
have caffeine is 5 days a week with at least 2 days off it. The more you have
I
it,
have
the more
it
tolerant
once
you
a
get to
week,
it. So it's
at the
always better
most
to have a
twice.
little reset just so the effects still hit. It's also a problem too that kids are now starting to have energy drinks. When Prime released its energy drinks, there was parents complaining that their kids were having them and it was causing problems. I don't know what type of stress these is even going through to be having energy drinks.
Yeah, that actually makes sense because Prime, like Logan Paul and KSI, they're targeted to the younger audience, right? Like, not my generation, but the generation below it, like the 2010s kids, 2008 to 2010s kids. Like, instead of they see Prime, right, and they're like, "Oh my God, KSI, Logan Paul. Oh my God, it's their drink. Oh my God, I want to drink it. Oh my God, oh my God." And then they see the caffeine one, and they think it's just a regular Prime drink. No, nigga, it's not. You're gonna like get fucking hyper, and I don't want to take care of you while you're hyper, you little ass nigga. Like what? Like nah, like that actually ruins kids too because caffeine is not good for brain development.
I only started drinking them after having some adult type responsibilities. Before 18, I wasn't having them. And once again, parents strike again at not monitoring their kids because how do they even get access to these energy drinks? Since I said I only
Swear.
have them when I work out, we might as well throw gym in there as an addiction. Some of y'all might think it's odd that gym is here, but if you see how fitness social media is now, you know how bad it can get. There's been a lot more of a rise in gym influencers since 2020. I'm glad the gym is becoming way more popular though, because in general it's good for everyone's health. But the lengths some people take to look like some
Recently,
of the
people have been
influencers
going to the
online
gym
is
more. I've been seeing a
unbelievable.
lot of
It's
new people.
universally known now that a lot of influencers online straight up use performance enhancing drugs to look the best. One of the biggest known cases I would say is The Rock. Everyone knows for his physique at his age, it's almost impossible for him to look like this without taking some type of performance enhancing drug. He always
How old is
denies
he?
it and says he doesn't use them.
Chat,
which
how old is
no
The
one
Rock?
believes. Because when your job is to look the best, a lot of these influencers and celebs feel like they have no choice but to take them to keep up with everyone. And people in the gym community point out all the time who may be fake or real. One of the biggest gym influencers on YouTube's job is literally predicting from years of experience what influencer or celeb transformation is real or fake. But even if the influencers doing it are natural, it's never good to compare yourself because their entire job is meant to look good. Like they can spend hours at a time in the gym every day to look like that. Meanwhile, the average person usually gets out of school or work and can have 1 or 2 hours max. And it leads to people thinking they have to take the same drugs those influencers are taking. Nowadays, there's people who will show their journey through taking steroids or testosterone casually. I guess it's kinda good they're being honest, but like, can you imagine people did this for any other drug? Imagine a meth addict showing their journey of taking it through the years. And the people taking these drugs are getting younger and younger because they look up to these guys, ruining their whole body before it even got time to fully develop. It's okay to accept the fact that you probably won't reach their level, and if you do, it'll just take you significantly longer, which is
Yeah, it
fine.
just takes
Like,
you
bro,
longer.
You got decades of
You
your
don't have
life
to-
to reach that type of build if you want to. You don't
Yeah,
gotta
listen
rush
to
it
this
yourself.
guy.
And the reality is, you probably won't even want to keep up with that type of physique because it'll be too much work. The last category we got, which 90% of my audience will relate to, is unemployment. Unemployment is the new cool lifestyle that everyone's getting into.
34.
34? Okay, what do you do?
I am a risk taker. I'm a road runner. I'm an entrepreneur.
I mean, think of it. You can nibble
I
off
am
of
a
someone else's
risk
work for
taker.
free while laying down on a couch and watching your favorite TV show. Society's become so cooked that anyone who quits their job or anyone who's applied to more than 5 and got denied just give up and decide to live that lifestyle. You even mention the word job to certain and they start quivering in fear for their life. You know what? I'm feeling pretty evil today. Let's go ahead and go on a TOS run to get me packed out of here real quick. And I do want to put a disclaimer. What you're about to hear may be disturbing. Job. Employment.
Ah,
Working.
ah,
Career.
no,
Business.
no,
Profession.
no,
Operation.
no. No.
I feel free being able to say what I want. I feel like the world is in the palm of my hand. For some reason, even though it feels like no one is getting a job now, we're actually reaching low levels of employment. Well, at least
Because
compared
everyone
to
wants to be a
2020. Moment of
fucking
silence for all my
influencer
people who were
now.
looking for a job during COVID. Glad that wasn't me.
Put the work in.
Because God knows where I would be right now. The thing that's doomed Gen Z is as soon as finally started to get their degrees and get ready for the real world, AI had to advance at levels we never thought possible. I might have to make a video on just this alone. Man, we all thought AI would take jobs like fast food and have robots flipping burgers, but that's it. Now you got AI that can code entire websites for free. You got AI that automatically run YouTube channels and generate them unlimited money. And for us, it was a big rush of people getting STEM degrees because everyone was saying that was the speed run to get a 6-figure job. It's great to know that all those degrees are completely useless now that those jobs are taken by AI. So no wonder everyone's giving up and are embracing their unemployment. And when GTA 6 drops, mark my words, will quit their jobs just to have time to play this once-in-a-lifetime game. I'm truly scared for the job market in that moment. Hospitals are gonna be empty from doctors and nurses trying to finish the GTA 6 storyline. So anyways, that's about it. If you don't align close to any of the things I mentioned, then congrats, you're one of the special ones. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, I love you guys consensually. And until next time, I'm out.
That was a good video, chat. That was a really good video.